Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the Sports Betting Show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.
Welcome to the Sports Betting Show, NFL edition. I'm the Philly Godfather from TheEight8all.com with the usual suspects. We got Philly Rooster on, Jimmy the Sheep Batista, Matt Maltepes from the College Kids, and the man, the myth, the legend, the 8-ball. We've been kicking ass all year in the NFL, and nothing's going to change this week. We got a bunch of selections for you guys. We got some good guests. We got Dave Mason from BetOnline coming on, and one of my favorite guests, David Chow, Pro Football Doc from SICScore.com. But let's get right down to business. 8-ball, Thursday night action. You got the Patriots against the Steelers. I think this line's a little high. Steelers are laying 5.5, 6, depending on where you shop. Total's kind of low at 30. Do you like anyone in this matchup?
Yeah, I think the line's a little high too here. This Patriots team, we know they've been atrocious all year, but they did just hold an explosive Chargers team to 6 points on Sunday. And despite the Steelers' record, we know that this team, the stats back it up. It's not a good football team, so I think we're looking at a field goal game here, and I'll take the Pats +6.
I like that, but I like the Pats as well. So make sure you write that down, Rooster, for the Rooster recap. Let me go to Rooster next. Rooster, you like anyone in this match? You like a side or a total? Sounds like the dogs are barking.
Yeah. It looks like we got a match already on the first game of the week. I like the Patriots here. Like you said, the Steelers cannot move the ball. I got absolutely zero faith in Trubisky, and not that I have any faith in the Patriots offense, but primetime game. Look, Belichick's taking a really bad rap. He deserves a lot of it because there's not one star on his team. But getting ready for a primetime game, Belichick is strong. I got more faith in him for that than I do in Tomlin. And Tomlin's pulling rabbits out of his hat all year long. It's amazing they win these games. They get outgained, outplayed, out everything, and they end up getting wins. So, yeah, I like the Patriots here. And I'm going to give them out premium on the site as a money line bet tonight.
Make sure you check out Philly Rooster at ThePhillyGodfather.com. Sports betting packages start at just $3 a day. You can't beat it. Next up, Matt Maltepes from the College Kids, at Matt Maltepes on Twitter. Matt, who do you like in this game?
This one's a tough one. 8-ball talked about New England's defense. For 3 straight weeks, they've let up 10 points or less. Indy, 10 points or less. Then they had a bye week. New York, 10 points. And then the Chargers, 6 points. The problem is their offense. They only scored 6, only scored 7, then they scored 0. So as non-existent as Pittsburgh's offense has been, it's still been better than New England's. But this scenario, getting 6 points, I kind of got to lean New England here.
Do you like the total at all? 30 is kind of low. Everyone's expecting no scoring in this game. 2 of the worst offenses in the NFL. Do they shock everyone and come out here and put up 40 and go over the total? And the squares all get killed?
So originally this line opened a little higher and then it went down. Originally like the under a little bit, but now it's too low. It's 30 points. All it takes is a turnover here and there for you to go over. Fumble return, touchdown. So,
it's crazy. 2 years ago, the totals were in the 50s, and people were talking about how the game's changed. And this year, you're seeing the lowest totals ever. Rooster, what's going on with the totals this year?
Well, what happened is, and if you go back, within 5 weeks of the season, unders were winning at a 70% clip. I'd never seen anything like it. And the market just had to start adjusting. The public was onto it, and they were just betting every under. So the market kept adjusting, and I agree. Well, obviously we know what happened this year. All the quarterbacks got hurt.
Injuries.
Now we know there's only maybe 20 quarterbacks on earth that can play this game correctly, and 7 of them got hurt. So now you're down to 10 to 12 quarterbacks that can play the game, that are in the game, and you see the drop-off. The drop-off is massive. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's a sheep. You hear anything on this game? Any sharp money on the side?
Dog, absolutely. China, a bunch of people I highly respect on the dog.
Right,
I think back to the total. When's the last time we saw 5 NFL games around the 30? The total's around 30. It's nuts. I've never seen it. It reminds me back in the 90s when they used to play defense and they weren't calling the flag on everything. I mean, you got 31.5. This is nuts. 33, 32.5.
You think the league did this purposely with the way they call these games, or it's just
I agree with what Rooster said. I think the quality of play is a factor because of the quarterback injuries, and then it affects everything. And I think these teams are not trying to put up as many points because they're concerned like who they're going to put the hell on the field.
Yeah. Well, we only got a minute left in this segment. I really want to go after Rooster with that Eagles bet last week. What'd you buy?
Oh, we got plenty of time for that, so don't worry about that.
How do you feel about the Birds now, Rooster?
Well, they're minus 400 to win the division now, so I think I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, Well, I mean, the schedule's favorable. Dallas kind of tripped up a little bit. Who they got left? They got Dallas.
Dallas is in big trouble.
They got a tough schedule. They got Miami. They got
Buffalo, and Detroit.
Detroit. They got 3 tough out of their last 5 games. But the only thing you have to remember, after the Eagles get destroyed Sunday night, I mean, Rooster, this is a good game where you can take another 21.5 point total or teaser, And
the funny thing is, it really doesn't matter.
It does matter because you know why?
You still win the division.
Forget the division. This is about the conference.
The road comes through Philly, baby. Dallas cannot play on the road. We know that.
Well, guess what? San Fran can, and we saw that last weekend. So
they're not going to have to. Dallas is going to take care of them, and then we beat Dallas at home. It's easy.
Listen, Steve, aren't you drug testing him?
He's got it all figured out.
Hold that thought, Jimmy. We'll be right back. We got to go to commercial break.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
Blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the Sports Betting Show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. And we were just busting Rooster's chops about buying a half a point on last week's Eagles game to 3.5. He needed another 20 to cover, but he almost got there. But we got Dave Mason in the green room from BetOnline AG. Let's bring him on the show. Dave, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you guys doing?
He's back, baby. He's back. Oh man, the season's winding down. I mean, we couldn't wait for it to start, and now it's down at the tail end. How's everything going on down there at BetOnline AG?
Oh, good, man. Yeah, I mean, the football season just flies by. Week 14 already. Crazy.
Before Sheep interrupts me, like he always does, Sheep, you got any questions for Dave Mason from BetOnline.ag?
No, not at the moment, Mr. Mason.
I sent you a memo before the show started. I have a question for Dave Mason, and you can't come up with one question for Dave Mason.
Minus 400, he comes up with something in the next 5 minutes.
All right, let's start fire, man. Let's not waste any time. Bet counts, percentages, sharp action, etc. Let's go to the night's game. Patriots at Pittsburgh. What are you guys using? 5.5 and 30? Is that what it is?
We're at 5. It just moved to 5 and 30.5. So it's up to 30.5 from 30. Exciting. Open 6.5 and 33. And the money's pretty split. 51% of the cash, 52% of the bettors are on Pittsburgh. It's looking like a little bit of sharp on New England +6. So, yeah, Mitch Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi. Can't wait.
Zap attack. Hey, Paul, you got a question for Dave Mason from BetOnline.ag?
Yeah, so with these totals we were talking about, have you seen anything like this before where, we've got 5 games in the 30s this week? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, it is crazy, man. I mean, I haven't. I mean, maybe dating back to the pre-gambling day, before I really started paying attention to stuff. But ever since I've been in the industry and really paying attention to these numbers, no. I mean, I think 1993, there was a couple around 28, 30, something like that in 1 week due to, I think it's the 93, due to those ice storms back then. I remember those. But consistently, no, man, this is crazy.
All right, let's go next game on the screen. The Jags are at Cleveland. Cleveland's laying 3. I know there's been a big movement in the market since the opener. Which way the sharp money going, and which way the public going?
Yeah, we're at 332.5. Open Jacksonville 3, but of course that was before the injury, right? And 57% of the bettors, 69% of the cash on the Browns. Got some sharp on Cleveland at -1.5.
Let's go to the next game on the screen. Detroit Lions laying 3.5, depending on where you shop, at Chicago. Which way is the sharp money going, and how's your bet splits on this one?
We got 3 Lions, 43, open 5 and 45. 56% of the cash is on Chicago, but 60% of the bettors are on Detroit. Sharp on Bears +4. Under 44 more, over 40.5 or less.
Rooster, you got any questions for Dave Mason from BetOnline?
Yeah, Dave, this Kansas City game looks like Pacheco does not looking good. He didn't practice today. But I heard today there was maybe a Mahomes injury, which I'm going to ask Pro Football Doc about it. Is that why that line dropped?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, you're looking at went from 2.5 to 2 now. That has to be why. Without a doubt. I mean, there's not a lot of action on that game yet either. I mean, I think everybody's just holding their horses, kind of seeing what's going to happen. I mean, a game like that usually would have a lot more early action on it, but I mean, it's one of the least bet games on the board as of now.
Well, I got news for you. My Dallas Cowboy futures guys, you better put on your Kansas City caps this week, because if Buffalo wins that game and they're in the hunt and Dallas got to go down there and see them at home in the playoff hunt, ain't going to end well.
Just worry about the Eagles this Sunday. We'll see if the Eagles make it by Dallas this Sunday.
Stevie, don't worry. He's teasing him. He's taking the 24.5-point super teaser on the Birds.
Matt Maltepes from the college. Because, Matt, you got anything to ask Dave Mason?
I do, but the NFL MVP race, I know things got a little mixed up last week because of the win with San Fran over Philly, and we have Prescott playing very well. I was just wondering where the odds were, what the numbers were on that.
Yeah, let me see. Let me click on that. Prescott's the favorite, +225. We got Purdy next, actually. Then Hurts 4-1. Tyreek Hill 8-1. Mahomes down to +950. Let me see who we need here. Yeah, Prescott's a loser for us. Purdy's a bigger loser.
All right, let's go next game on the board. You got Seattle at San Fran. I think you guys are using 10.5 and 46.5. Which way is the market moving on this one?
Yep, you got the odds right there. Open 11.5 and 46. Pretty split. 53% of bettors and 56% of cash on Seahawks. Did take some sharp on Seattle plus 11.5.
All right, let's finish with the last game on the board. Philly at Dallas. I know what'd you guys open up? 1.5. It's up to what, 3.5 and 52?
Our look ahead lines were there, but the official openers was a field goal and 50.5. We're at 3.5 and 52. Money and bets are 50-50. There's two-way sharp on the spread and under 53.
Did you guys ever move to 4 at all, or no?
No, I don't think so. 3.5 was what we topped out at. Yeah.
All right, because there was a couple books moved to 4, and then it just disappeared real quick. So kind of looked like some sharp money. Bit a little bit on that +4 on Philly. But go Birds! We're all Philly guys, and we're cheering them in here.
Who's cheering in the Birds?
I took +4. What are you talking about? I took +4 on Philly. I took +4 on Philly here. All right, Dave Mason, you want to let everyone know where to find you on social media?
At Dave Mason, yeah, sure thing. Twitter at Dave Mason BOL. Come on over and have any questions about, our splits or promos or anything, hit me up.
There you go. Thanks for coming on, Dave, man. You're the
all
man.
Right, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Birds.
See you, Dave.
Go Birds, baby. Go Birds.
I cannot say that sentence. I'm sorry, 8-Ball. I won't do it.
What are you sitting on a bunch of action? What's going on there? All right, I want everyone listening and watching to go to UnderdogFantasy.com. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code WIN, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. That's promo code WIN at UnderdogFantasy.com, and start firing away and make some money. What do we got? Seattle at San Fran. Rooster, you like anyone in that matchup?
I like Seattle a lot. I mean, this is a perfect spot for them, for San Francisco to have a little letdown, maybe get tested early in this game. Geno Smith has looked pretty good. I mean, they put up 35 points against that Cowboy defense, which is not easy to do. And they're well coached. I mean, this is a 4:05 game on Sunday. Niners are kind of smelling themselves a little bit. Give me 10.5 with Seattle. I know it's on the road, but they travel pretty well, that team. I think they're going to have a presence in that stadium. I'm taking 10.5 there.
I like it too. I like Seattle plus 10.5. Let me go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball, how confident are you still with that Dallas future at 16-1? And I think would you take 7-1 to win the conference? Is there any team that scares you? Maybe like a sleeper like Green Bay, or you still think it's a 3-horse race between the Eagles, San Fran, and Dallas?
I still think it's a 3-team race. None of these teams really scare me. The only, negative drawback to the Cowboys is Rooster said it. They have to play 3 road games. But besides, that, it's a huge task they have to do. But I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think they have a quarterback who's playing the position the best in the league right now. They're playing the best at home. The offensive line and defensive lines have been elite. And, the defense is playing great as well.
Now, since you're holding a Cowboys plus 200 ticket to win the NFC East, are you looking to hedge? I mean, you really got to take the Eagles here because if they go down, you got a chance to break even on that.
He would have to lay 4-1.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right.
How are you going to hedge that? What are you doing, a reverse hedge on me, Godfather?
No, I'm saying take the plus 4 on the game. I'm saying take the plus 4 on the game. Right? You take the plus 4 on the game.
This game doesn't help their case, even if they win.
Well, if the Eagles win, then the division's over completely. There's no way Dallas can come back and win that division.
Yeah, but if Dallas wins, it's not over. All the Eagles got to do is win out. Seattle, Giants twice, and Arizona.
You sound like that's easy. You make that sound like it's so easy.
It's a lot easier than beating Miami in Miami, who's in the hunt for the number 1 seed. Buffalo in Buffalo, who's in the hunt.
We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
Detroit.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the Sports Betting Show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from TheEight8all.com. And as we're waiting for Pro Football Doc to jump on, give out all the injury reports, we're talking a little NFL action, Seattle, San Fran. Let me go to 8-ball first. You like anyone in this matchup?
I haven't bet anyone in this game, but I'm leaning Seattle here. You get 10.5, 11 in a division game. San Fran's coming off a big blowout win. You know, their heads are high right now. They just beat the Dragon of the NFC. So I think Seattle's a good spot right here, plus 11.
All right, let me go to Matt Maltepes from the College Kids. At the current Super Bowl odds, I know 49ers are favored, basically 3-1. Eagles are around 550. Dolphins at 650. The Chiefs are at 650. Ravens, that team's kind of dangerous at 8-1. The Cowboys are also 8-1. Lions at 14-1. Jags at 20-1. The Texans at 35-1. The Packers at 70-1. What do you think about the Packers as a sleeper? I mean, their schedule down the stretch is kind of easy, and they're starting to play some good football.
I mean, I don't know about the Packers 71. It is a long shot to me for a reason. It's a bit of a tougher one. 70-1. I'm just not sure they're there yet. They are stringing some wins now. They did beat Detroit. They did beat KC, 2 really good wins. They beat the Chargers. But, I mean,
they're healthy, too. They weren't healthy for a little bit of a stretch, and they were losing games. Now they're 100% healthy. If you look at their schedule down the stretch, they play the Giants, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Minnesota, and the Bears. They might get in the playoffs.
What do you think about Green Bay 70-1?
I mean, you got to nibble a little bit the way they've been looking. Their offensive line is healthy. Their defense is strong. Jordan Love's looking pretty good. Rooster, I mean, throw $100 on him. It's 70-1.
Xavier 100. I mean, the problem is they got to go through again. They're going to have to play everything on the road. They're going to be a wild card team. So now they got to win 3 road games against really good teams at home, including Dallas, Philadelphia, San Francisco, depending on how this thing shakes out. It's not going to happen. But I'll tell you, on long shot, I like the Bills. The Bills fell into a dream scenario. Lawrence is hurt. Deshaun Watson got hurt. The AFC quarterback picture, and now Lamar didn't practice today. Nobody knows what happened. Apparently he was sick or something. And Mahomes is hurt. I heard today he hurt his bicep or something, and he was limited in practice. That AFC, who we all thought had all the quarterbacks at the beginning of the year, is falling apart. And here comes Allen. If he can win this weekend, and I'm telling you, that dude is a game changer. And then he can win at home against Dallas and squeak into the playoffs. Who is going to want to play Buffalo? Not me. They should have beat Kansas City last year.
Yeah. Actually, you're getting 40-1.
That's the long shot I like. 40-1. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo 40-1. That's a good wager to me. I mean, we look at what are the top teams in the AFC. We have Miami, Baltimore, and we saw, just like you talked about, you have Lawrence that got hurt. Watson got hurt.
City.
Yeah, KC. So, I mean, they're right there. Like, in
They
terms of
have a tough
Any
schedule
of those teams on the road.
I mean, they're going to be dogs against the Chiefs on the road, right? They're playing the Cowboys after that. What's that, a pick-up? Then they play the Chargers. The Pats should be easy, but then they finish up with the Dolphins in Miami. So,
now there'll be 3 there'll be 3. Buffalo will be 3 over Dallas. After they win Sunday, there'll be 3 over Dallas.
And they do have one of the better point differentials in the NFL. So, 40-1, yeah. It's a great price. 8-ball, you like the Bills?
Yeah, they have one of the best point differentials in the league. They've played in a bunch of, one-score games this year. They should have beat Philly. There's a couple other games they let get away from them. They turned the ball over 4 times against Denver, lost by 2 points that game. I think, the ball just hasn't bounced their way this year, but they're still a great football team.
Let me go to Matt Maltepes from the college kids. Matt, on the NFC side, I mean, are the 49ers that good? Are they the juggernaut? Is anyone going to take them down?
I think the Cowboys can take them down. I really do. It depends on how things shake up, but I don't think San Fran's this team that, is unbeatable. Of course, they had a great week last week against Philly. They beat them, they crushed them, whatever the case is. But, I mean, to me, I don't – like Purdy is one of the top, favorites for MVP right now. But I still am not convinced on Purdy. I'm not convinced there.
So you basically think there's a huge overreaction. I know the media doesn't like Philly. They're not really impressed with Jalen Hurts. They like talking smack about him. So you think it was a major overreaction in the media and in the market?
I don't know if there's a major overreaction, but because San Fran, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. They're a very good team, right? They had 3 games where they lost in a row, but then they came back after their bye week and went right back where they were. They started off the game, started off the year 5-0, I believe, had 3 losses, then came back with 4 more wins. So they're a very good team. They're a great team last year. They had a couple of injuries against the Eagles in the championship. They ended up losing. But to me, I think some of these other teams like Dallas, they got better. Philadelphia is almost just as good. And San Fran, like I said, Purdy, I'm still not convinced because quarterbacks is what's going to get you in the championship along with a defense, right?
Matty, he's playing mistake-free football. I mean,
but
the guy in the past
it's different when you go into playoffs.
incredible football.
He's been playing amazing. That's why he's one of the favorites for MVP. No one's denied that. But is he seasoned enough? How much experience does he have? The difference, Jimmy.
That's a good point.
He got knocked on his ass in that championship game by the Eagles. He got plenty.
He knocked out. What are you talking about? He didn't get down. He was gone. Rooster.
Yeah, exactly. So he got, you don't think that's experience?
It's bad experience. Rooster. Do you think there's been an overreaction here with San Fran?
We were talking about this earlier. These sports commentators absolutely crack me up. I posted on Twitter an article from Sports Illustrated 4 weeks ago calling for the benching of Brock Purdy. And now the guy is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. He's never won a playoff game. This guy is Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, that you are who you are. It's an absolute joke. The team is very good. Last week, they matched up against an Eagles team who played 3 games in 13 days, beat Kansas City, beat Buffalo, beat Miami. I mean, heavyweight teams. They go in there, they go up 13-6 at the half, and they got punched in the mouth in the second half and said, you know what, we don't even need this game. We'll get them in the playoffs. If San Francisco,
we got Pro Football Doc.
No, you're so wrong.
Jimmy, we got Pro Football Doc in the green room, man.
If San Francisco has to come through Philly, they're going down.
Hey, Doc, what's going on, man? How's everything going out there?
I'm doing well.
Doc, hold on. Before we start the show, could you please drug test Rooster because there's something fucked up with his head tonight.
Well, I'm not trying to get into all this, but a lot of it, when the 49ers weren't doing well, it was because of Trent Williams. I think he, in some ways, is very key. And if you're going to say Purdy for MVP, you got to say CMC too. But the one thing I've noticed about Purdy, he's, he plays in Shanahan's system very well, and he plays well from ahead. He's not a good chaser.
Exactly.
Now you bring up a good point. All right, let's get down to business. Thursday night football, Patriots at Steelers. Which team is the healthier team in this matchup?
Well, it's a mixed bag. Let me get out my frustrations. I was all over the Devontae Parker under props today, and then he's not even playing. You know why I was on that? Did you see the play where they ran the wide receiver end around, and that kid was about going for a touchdown, and Devontae Parker started to celebrate, his hands in the air, stopped blocking, and the kid got chased down by a guy that Parker didn't block? I'm like, Belichick ain't going to have that. He's not going to get the ball today. He's not going to get the ball today so much that he got benched. And so I'm kind of mad at that one. But otherwise, one of the things that we do like, and it's part of our sick pick stuff, is it's the Steelers linebackers are injured. 2 starters are out. There's a third likely hampered too. And with only 3 wide receivers active, look, I know Hunter Henry hasn't done a lot lately, but it's Bailey Zappi. Whether it's yards or catches, Hunter Henry might be a good percentage play today.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen. Seattle at San Fran. It's a big point spread, 10.5 points. San Fran's coming off a physical game, even though they blew out the Eagles. The Eagles do have one of the better defensive lines in the NFL. Which team is healthier going into this matchup? I know Gino's starting to get a little healthier, isn't he?
Yeah, the Seahawks are getting healthier. San Francisco is slightly healthier still, but obviously it's a big line, so you got to figure out what you're going to do there. But Geno Smith is healthier. I loved him last week, right? And they covered there. But this week, 49ers, we'll have to see.
Okay, next game, Buffalo at KC. I know there's something going on with Mahomes' arm. Rooster was telling me earlier. Who's the healthier team in this matchup?
Well, let me give you a little secret there. He's listed as a pec, okay? If it were his right throwing shoulder, they would have to say right pec. So it's his left pec. I mean, he's not doing any push-ups or blocking anybody. He's going to be fine. But the Bills are coming off a bye, and Dawson Knox is going to be healthy. So whether it's Knox, Kincaid, and this is a big game for the Bills, right? And you can call it the revenge game. My son and I were actually at the last Bills game in Kansas City, that overtime comeback spectacular, because he's a big Chiefs fan. Pacheco, Pacheco will have to see where he's at, but I think he still has a chance to play. But, there's still Clyde Edwards-Helaire, so we'll have to see on Pacheco.
All right, Doc, I want you to stay on for the next segment as well. We're going to go to a break in about 25 seconds.
Okay.
I want everyone watching and listening to check out UnderdogFantasy.com. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code WIN, W-I-N, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code WIN, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. And I want everyone to go to SICScore.com. That's Pro Football Doc's website. Some of the most valuable information in the world. Their games have been killing it. The information he gives you, you won't find it anywhere else on the planet. We use it all the time. He's got one of the best websites out there. If you're betting on sports, you definitely got to sign up, and we'll be right back.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the Sports Betting Show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm the Philly Godfather from the PhillyGodfather.com. Back with the usual suspects and one of my favorite guests, David Chow from Pro Football.
Sorry about that. I'm at got my daughter at the 6-year-old at the Y doing gymnastics, so I popped in to make sure she was all good there.
Yeah, the Y is so awesome. That's where I started first lifting weights when I was like 14 years old. I mean, it's so. I know Rooster used to be down there. Rooster was one of the strongest kids in high school back then. He was benching what, like 350 back in high school, Rooster?
365 I topped out at.
Wow. Wow. All right, let's go back to the NFL, Doc. Trevor Lawrence injury. What's going on? How soon can he actually be back and be playing at full strength?
I know everyone was doubting what we said. The injury looks scary, but in game, I'm like, that's not a fracture. That's not injured reserve. That's not long-term injury. And obviously, that's been the case. We actually don't agree that it's a high ankle sprain. I think it's a variation of a low ankle sprain. Look, the very next day, he wasn't even in a boot. Now he's on the practice field. We always said there's a good chance, reasonable chance he could play against the Browns. He's not ruled out yet. Look, it's Trevor Lawrence. Look, Trevor Lawrence doesn't need to take one practice snap, and he's still the starter if he can get out there. This is not, this last week we were saying, I guarantee you Joe Flacco's the starter and this week too, because even if DTR clears concussion protocol, that young buck needs to practice to play. That's not the case for Trevor Lawrence. So I would not rule him out for this week yet. If there's a numbers or lines play, or, the line's going to move if he does play, obviously, and things will change. But that's still realistic in my mind.
8-Ball, you got a question for Pro Football Doc?
Yeah, I was wondering about the Jonathan Taylor injury. I know the Colts are, they're in the middle of a playoff race right now. So how long do you think he's going to be out for?
I think he's close. Look, it's one thing if it's an ulnar collateral ligament and you're a quarterback like Drew Brees. That was a full 6 weeks. You can put this in a splint and play through. Minimal ball security issues, etc. With Zach Moss's health issues. Look, I think Jonathan Taylor has a chance to play very, very soon with that thumb.
All right, Matt Maltepes from the Coskins. You got a question for Doc?
Yeah, I want to know about the status of Jalen Hurts. Everyone keeps on talking about, is he hurt? Is he not? What's going on? So I just wanted the best guy to get me the best answer. You're the best at what you do, Doc. So just want to.
Well, look, benching him for Mariota. I mean, what? Look, he's through most of his knee issues, right? I mean, if you want to rest him, rest him. But here's the reality. They don't have the division clinched, much less home field, right? They don't have the division clinched yet. And by the way, I already guaranteed it yesterday. Mike McCarthy will be on the sidelines for the Cowboys. I'm not going to be surprised if he comes back and makes an appearance tomorrow or Saturday at practice. Look, Norv Turner, when I was a team doctor in 2009, and he let me talk about this, had an appendectomy on a Friday and coached in a home game on Sunday against the Ravens in 2009. All right. So I've experienced it. Mike McCarthy will be there. And that year we ended up 13-3 that year, but we did lose 3 of the next 4 games after the appendectomy. And Norv called me into his office and said that he was mad at me because I should have let his appendix burst, because we still would have lost 3 of the next 4 games, but he would have been hailed as the missing piece, and since everyone else wanted him fired. But we came back that year 13-3 and did fine. But McCarthy will be there this weekend for the big Eagles game, no question about it, despite emergency surgery.
Well, you just gave me a layup. Let's talk about Philly, Dallas. Which team is healthier? Is there any major injuries on either team that we should be concerned about?
The Cowboys still have, both sides have key linebacker issues. I know they signed, obviously, Shaq Leonard. But, I hate to say this. I love Leonard, but I think they signed Shaq Leonard, not All-Pro Darius Leonard. He hasn't been the same since the 2 back surgeries. But, the Cowboys are still short at linebacker. They have the corner that's been out. Both sides are about even in terms of health there. And obviously Dak Prescott is playing well, and he will have his head coach.
All right, I want everyone to know that Sports Injury Central's best bets have gone 5-1 over the last 4 weeks. So make sure you guys go to SICScore.com. Doc, you want to let everyone know where to find you on social media?
Yeah, Pro Football Doc, but if you go to SICScore.com through Philly Godfather here, you can sign up, and the boys with their algorithm, it's been hot. I got a guarantee this week that the best bets will have you at a winning week. Otherwise, you get your money back, I guarantee. So check it out.
That's the best deal on the planet. Thanks for coming on, Doc.
Thank you.
See you, Doc. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, he gives out some of the best information in the world, especially if you're looking to bet on sports. Because as Rooster will tell you, I mean, these injuries can change the whole dynamic of the game, right, Rooster?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's not just quarterback. Offensive linemen are huge. If you're a strong middle of the field team, and you lose a key linebacker, that's huge. I mean, it depends on what your strengths are, and having a site like that, wow, I never had that. That's site. I'm on there 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, let me go to Matt Maltepes from the college kids. Matt, the Lions are playing at Chicago. There's some sharp money on the Bears. Who are you liking this matchup?
Ah, man, division game. It's hard to bet on the Bears. I hate betting on the Bears, man. That's my only thing. I mean, +3 at home. You might be able to catch a 3.5. I stood away from this one. This is the one that I liked.
Let me go to April. April, the Lions came out on fire last week, and then a bad Saints team almost caught them. Who do you like in this game between Detroit and Chicago? I mean, are the Lions that good?
I like the Bears here plus a 3.5 at home. It's going to be freezing temperatures. We all know Jared Goff struggles on the road in cold temperatures. So I think the Bears here, I think it's going to come into Fields' hands here. I think he's going to use his legs, freezing temperatures, and I think they'll be able to, stay within the 3.5 here.
Sheep, you looking to take the dog or, as always, lay the favorite?
I cannot bet the Bears. I cannot. No, I can't bet it with. I just
Lay
can't.
the favorite, Rooster. Lay the 3.5.
Take it right, guys. You can have all the Bear money you want. I can't touch the Bears. I'm done with the Bears.
Rooster, you like anyone here?
I do. I like under. I got under 44. It opened 46.5, been creeping down. 44 is the key number. I went under 44. If you can get an under 44, grab it.
Let me go to Matt Maltepes from the college kids. Buffalo at Kansas City, do or die for Buffalo here. Line's dropping a little bit. Mahomes is at 100%. The Chiefs aren't the same Chiefs from previous years. You like anyone in this matchup?
Yeah, I'm kind of liking Buffalo, man. I think they're going to try to make a run here. Look at the Chiefs. They obviously looked a little vulnerable last week against Green Bay. The week before, they did beat Vegas. But, you look at the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. They're 2-3. They lost to Denver. They barely beat Miami. They lost to the Eagles. And then they lost to Green Bay. I like Buffalo here. I think Buffalo, they come to get this win this week in KC.
Sheep, you laying the favorite here or you taking the dog?
I love the dog here.
Holy moly. About time.
I have a Monday night dog that is my game of the week.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it up.
The Giants with Tyrod Taylor taking the 7 at home. I love the Giants.
All right, let me go to April. April, who do you like at the Buffalo Kansas City game?
I like the Bills here. I mean, this is their Super Bowl. We've seen Kansas City struggle a little bit this year. They've been held scoreless, I think, in 4 of their second halves this year. So it's not the same offense we're used to. They don't have the wide receivers as they used to have. It's Travis Kelce and a bunch of other guys put together. I think the Bills come in and they win this game coming up a bye week.
Are you looking to take some 40-1 on Buffalo? I know you got huge futures, 40-1 on Miami. You think Buffalo can sneak in there? They got a tough schedule to finish the season. I think there's some value at 40-1 or not.
Definitely. With all the injuries in the AFC and all the unknown, you have teams on the brink like the Broncos, an okay team. Bengals are still on the brink. Joe Burrow's hurt. Colts. So, yeah, I think Buffalo is a good long shot if you were to take one.
Let's go to the Andy Reid homer, one of the biggest Chiefs fans in the world when he's not rooting for the Eagles. Philly Rooster. Rooster, you like the Chiefs here?
I like the Bills. We match. That's another game we all match on. I mean, like we've been saying, Mahomes does not look the same to me. I don't know if it's an injury. When I heard about that injury, I thought it was something more than what Pro Football Doc said. And Pacheco, he's kind of like the heartbeat of that team. I know his numbers aren't there, but when he has a running play, he's like a freight train, and he gets that team motivated a little bit. And like we said, Buffalo needs this game, and I love my Buffalo future, so I'm taking the Bills here.
All right, let's go to Matt Maltepes. Biggest game on the board for all Philly fans, all Cowboy fans. Game reopened up 3. It's moved up to 3.5 off that key number of 3. Dallas's favorite at home. They've been invincible in Dallas. They've been playing some good football lately. Who do you like in that matchup?
I like the Cowboys at home if you can catch 3 or less. 3.5, it's a different story. But if you catch 3 or less, go Dallas. I mean, last time they versed, this was a close game. Very, very close. It was in Philly. I think they split division games this year.
would you be looking to take him in the first half, the Cowboys? Because last year the Eagles were unstoppable in the first half, scored the most points, I think, in NFL history in the first half of games. This year, it looks like that's flip-flopped, and if you come out really slow, you think the Cowboys first half, you think they come out on fire?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad wager if you take -2.5. Is that the line, I believe? 2.5 first half. At 3, again, I wouldn't probably. 2.5 is the right number. If you can get 2.5 -110, I see some -120s out there. You got to try to get the right number always.
Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, are you a Cowboys fan this week or an Eagles fan?
Cowboys fan. -3 money line, first half. Cowboys all the way here. You know, teams that play
the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. You going to bet them every way you can bet them?
Yes, sir. Teams that play the 49ers, they never perform well the next week. The 49ers beat you up on the defensive side of the football. The offense is hurt. Love the Cowboys here.
Is this going to be one of those legendary 8-ball 5% burials?
We'll see.
Rooster, who are you taking here?
This game's interesting. I agree. It is a good spot for the Cowboys. The Cowboys need the game a lot worse than the Eagles do. But when that thing went above 3, I got to take the Eagles. Give me +3.5 on a game that I think is going to be real close. And if you can get 3.5 points on a real close division game, these two teams always play each other tough. I think Dallas comes out with a win, but I think I'll take the 3.5.
I mean, aren't the bookmakers begging you to take they're giving you that hook? And like he brought up a good point, 8-ball. Anytime you play the 49ers in that defense, the following week you're just not the same. I mean, does that scare you at all?
I mean, yeah, like I said, this is a good spot for Dallas. I mean, they're at home. They play really well at home. It's not a must-win for the Eagles as long as they win out beyond here. And look, the Dallas Dak Prescott season starts Sunday. He hasn't played a winning team yet. Now he's got 4.
He played Seattle. They were 6-5.
Well, they're 500 now. So yeah. There's no winning team on his record this whole year. So now he's got 4 in a row. He's got possibly 4 playoff teams in a row. And now we're going to see if Dak Prescott's an MVP. It's easy when you're playing Arizona and the Bears. It's not so easy when you get Miami in Miami, Buffalo in Buffalo, Detroit, and the Eagles. So, hey, let's see. If he comes out of this as still an MVP candidate, I'm on the Dak train with you guys.
Whoa. We got 15 seconds. Real quick. Who do you like?
I told you, Eagles +3.5.
I'm talking to sheep. 5 seconds, real quick.
You know I'm a Cowboy.
There you go. Taking a cat. I like the Birds +4. That'll wrap up the show. Keep fine. Thanks for watching, guys.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the sports betting show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.
Welcome back to the Sports Betting Show. I'm Philly Godfather from TheEight8all.com. We wrapped up all the picks. The only thing left to do now is the Rooster recap. Rooster, you ready to go, brother?
I thought you cut the show off early. What happened there?
I was trying to leave a little early, but the producer's like, we got one more segment. I got a little Bailey's and the coffee hanging out over here.
What kind of operation do you got me involved with here? I'm used to dealing with professionals.
Wait. We got a big.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Listen, as dysfunctional as this show is, they called us in to ABC Studios to do a pilot, a TV show. So it ain't that bad, brother.
Yeah. Well, you kicked 8-Ball off the show, so I can't even verify his list with him. All right. Pat plus 8-Ball. Pats plus 6. Seattle is a lean plus 10.5. Bills plus 40-1 and plus 1.5 tonight. Bears plus 3 and Dallas big. Matty, Pats plus 6. Bills 40-1 and plus 1.5 and Dallas. Philly Godfather, Pats. We all match on the Patriots and the Bills, by the way. Seattle plus 10.5, Dallas first half, and Philly plus 4 for the game. Baba, Patriots plus 6, Detroit minus 3, Giants plus 7, and Dallas. Rooster, Patriots money line, Seattle plus 10.5, Bills plus 40-1 and plus 1.5, Bears under 44, and Philadelphia plus 3.5.
There we go.
Sheep's actually writing this stuff down.
He'll lose that by the time he gets out of his chair.
Let me tell
I
you
have to
what
write
Sheep
it down
said.
because the Rooster recap, because when he comes gloating in the next morning. So
I send it out on Twitter when I'm done. So there's a record.
We got receipts. All right, I want everyone listening and watching to go to the PhillyGodfather.com. We got sports betting packages that start just $3 a day. Philly Rooster, the 8-Ball, Matt Maltepes from the College Kids, TCK_experience. We got Sheep on there. We got everyone on there. We've been kicking ass all year. VIP members are up almost 200 positions on the season. And I also want everyone to check out UnderdogFantasy.com. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code WIN, and they'll match your deposit up to $100. I want to thank Dave Mason for coming on from BetOnline AG, Pro Football Doc, from SICScore.com. Some of the best guests in the industry, and we'll be back next week. Good luck, guys.
have a good one. Thank you.
Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at TheEight8all.com.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long with their fantasy pick'em game. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stats, then do what you usually do on a Sunday. Watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. It's a fantasy game, and the Sports Betting Show wants you to get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up, use the promo code WIN, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code WIN.